Shows and movies that explain why I'm into heavy metal. Let's go. Let's be real. Sword and sorcery, myth, magic, and heavy metal all go together. After all, Manowar weren't wearing, like, wolfskin underwear for no reason. Frank Frazetta made them do that. Number 1, Conan the Barbarian. Obviously, we're starting strong with this absolute 80s banger featuring Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sandal Bergman, Jerry Lopez, and James Earl Jones. This movie starts out with some pretty harrowing scenes for the young Conan, but then we see the full 80s effect come in as he spends the next 10 years getting absolutely jacked out of his mind by pushing around a giant mill wheel. This for sure set the fitness expectations of several generations of people, you know? With one of the most majestic and awesome soundtracks ever made by the mighty and majestic Basil Poledouris, this is a tale of revenge, adventure, romance, and most importantly, really cool outfits and power posing in many cool landscapes. This movie is mandatory viewing, and by the end of it, you're definitely going to want to buy a loincloth, chainmail bikini, or both, and just hit the road for shameless power posing in all kinds of like public locations. Ask me how I know. Next up, we got the extremely cool and powerful Xena Warrior Princess, which is one of those shows that definitely explains my current personality, taste in women, and everything else, you know. This one features the super cool Lucy Lawless as Xena, former villain who roams the ancient Greek world fighting bandits, fighting the forces of evil, and bringing balance to the universe. By her side for all these quests is her best friend and companion Gabrielle, played by Renee O'Connor, who's like friendlier, more bubbly and good-natured while beating the bad guy senseless with a wooden staff. One of the cool things about these 90s fantasy shows is that pretty much everything was made of like paper mache, hopes, dreams, and sheer attitude, and it all worked out perfectly. I guess the lesson in life is that sheer audacity goes a long way. Next up, we got Fire and Ice from 1983, which is like a complete fever dream 80s dark fantasy. The art in this one is drawn by Frank Frazetta, who did some of the most like iconic fantasy artwork of all time. His granddaughters and I believe daughters are keeping his legacy alive today, so check them out on socials under the name Frazetta Girls. This one's got every classic sword and sorcery ingredient you can think of, from masked barbarians on steroids who come out of the wasteland to like steel more barbells and stringer vests, to an imprisoned princess and an evil wizard tyrant who was definitely in some kind of world famous rock band before the lifestyle caught up to him. Pretty much no one in this movie ever wears more than the bare legal minimum amount of clothing, which is pretty hilarious, but like, you know, fits the vibe, so that's what it's all about, eh? After all, clothes are overrated anyway, no? Next up, we got the Biker Mice from Mars, and let me tell you, this is one of the most influential shows in my childhood. The show did profound work on my subconscious mind. The title tells you pretty much everything you need to know. There are 3 mice, they ride motorcycles, they look unbelievably cool, and they come from Mars. But they have like, you know, thumbs and like human limbs and all that to allow for the motorcycle riding, I guess. These guys escaped their home planet after fighting a civil war against an evil intergalactic corporation of fish people, and then they land on Earth where the same evil corporation is setting up shop, so you can see where this is going from here. Our heroes are named Vinny, Throttle, and Modo, and their style continues to serve as a constant source of inspiration to me today, minus, you know, like the fur and mouse ears and stuff. Once they land on Earth, they meet a mechanic named Charlie and move into a shop, I think, and then they spend all their time fighting evil, listening to heavy metal, popping wheelies, and making wisecracks. Alright, so there are obviously like hundreds of movies and shows I could have included in this list, but for now, have a good one.